last time you questioned your assumptions? Once upon a time, a little 7-year-old boy went up to his mom and dad, who he loved very much. He asked them, "Do you love me too?" "Sunshine, of course, we love you dearly. We love you and your 3 brothers too." "I must be their favorite," thought the boy. "I'm cuter, I'm smarter, and I'm younger than those 3 guys. They don't even have a nickname." Then one day, the parents said, "We're going away this Christmas. We're going far away, and 3 of you boys must stay." First, beaming with pride, the boy deeply sighed, learning his eldest brother would go. He stormed out of the room with sadness and gloom and tears following closely behind. He went to the kitchen and opened a drawer, reaching for a knife, resolved to end his life. The lesson is, don't make permanent decisions based on temporary storms. When we think about a little boy, they believe when they're that age, the world revolves around them. And everything someone says could affect them, or they're the cause of it. They're the center of the universe. We think a 7-year-old doesn't know any better, do we? The boy made some assumptions about his parents, and if there's one moral this story has, it's that assumptions make an ass of you and me. Now, you probably made an assumption thinking that the story was over. You were wrong. We can move on to 3 years later. Now the boy's in school, speaking with his friends. And there, one of his friends asks him a seemingly silly question. He says, "Who's your dad? I've known you a few years. I've been to your house. I've met your brothers. Sometimes we even ride home together. But I don't know who your dad is." A bit confused, the boy, unable to answer, said he would ask when he got home. He got home and he asked his 3 brothers. He was surprised to learn his biological dad had died before he was ever born. Most families have secrets. We've learned that with time. Every one of us has secrets. We've created them with time. If you were in the boy's shoes, what would you think? Would you think your dad was a brave soldier, a hero who got killed in the war? Would you think he was a drug addict who overdosed? Maybe he was some aristocrat or someone important who got assassinated. The boy felt angry. He felt angry that his dad left his mom to raise 4 boys alone. He felt angry that his dad took what he saw as the coward's way out, death by suicide. He felt angry that he might have the same blood in his veins. He felt angry until he became a man, where he learned a lesson. And the lesson is, you might be through with your past, but your past isn't through with you. As a man, I learned by remembering my knife story that I had to accept a certain fact. I am my father's son. I'd made assumptions about him when I was younger that caused me to erase him from my mind, to believe that he wasn't anything to do with me, that I didn't want anything to do with him. But as I've grown older over time, I've come to realize that this thing we call life tests me too, and it gets to me. And what was in him is in me. I know the atmosphere might not feel as great as you would expect from a speech by me normally, but I want you to see something clearly. The moral that I live by with life is that assumptions will make an ass of you and me. If there's one lesson I want you to think about, it's hopefully you can see yourself in some of the characters I've shared. You can see how, like a 7-year-old, when someone says something to you, someone who you care about, someone who you love, and it leaves you feeling hurt, hopeless, worthless, that's not the end of your world. I hope that when someone has asked you a question, because to them, your dad who's white doesn't look like your dad, so they want to know who your dad is, you won't get offended, and you'll be glad that you've got friends who can actually challenge you in this way. If you don't remember having a friend ask you such a question, hopefully you will become that person for someone else. Most of the time we're afraid to ask ourselves these questions, and we're afraid to ask others. But fear makes true that which you're afraid of. If you're afraid of finding out the truth will find you anyway. My one challenge to all of you today is go through life now and remember that assumptions make an ass